6:36. Not as early as I'd like to be, but not officially late. Oh, the back of the van's dirty. That's the thing with the Odyssey. It always did that. It's a little bit of fog out there, but I don't think it's too bad. Good morning, van. The roads are dry this morning. Fog hasn't been an issue, although I think around midnight it was pretty thick. It's just cleared. It's 58 out there, so it's pretty warm. Johnny and I just had a little bit of a start, a little scare. I wish I had a dash cam in the van so I could show you, but you'll just have to take my play-by-play description. We were in the right lane, which is normally where I am in the morning. If the car's not on autopilot, I still sort of am. I'm not an aggressive driver at, 7 o'clock in the morning. And some debris flew out from around and underneath the pickup truck that was in front of us about, I don't know, a couple miles back. And it was white, and if I had to say, it was some sort of hard plastic. Really don't know what it was. And I was far enough behind the vehicle in front of me that I think hit it more than I did. Obviously, it came out from underneath him. I was able to slow, and it really didn't collide with the van. But I was talking to Johnny about how do you handle that, because I've had foam fly off of vehicles at me. I've had pipes drop on the road beside me. There's been wood in the middle of the road we've had to deal with. Today it was this plastic stuff. And just trying to tell him, as a driver, what do you do? And most importantly, I think, is to slow slowly for most situations, right? You don't want the guy behind you who hasn't seen the debris at the same time you have to hit you because you slowed too quickly. And then most importantly, probably, is you want to hold your lane. I mean, yeah, could that plastic possibly have damaged the paint on the hood of the van or broken the windshield on the van or something? If it had been heavier and closer, it could have, but it's a much worse complication if you leave your lane and hit the vehicle to the side of you. And certainly what was happening didn't warrant me trying to swerve off into his shoulder. So yeah, we just spent some time talking about how you handle that. And I'm just glad that there was no damage, and everybody's okay. It didn't cause an accident. I have no idea exactly what it was that flew at us. Here on time, 7:19 a.m. Yay! I think it's going on a year, but it's been quite some time since I went to see my chiropractor. And I guess the main reason why I stopped going was the drive and the time commitment, because he's almost as far north of Raleigh as we live south of Raleigh in Fuquay. So, but at any point, he and I have been chatting because I've still been following him on Facebook. And I decided I'd go up today and consider going back on some less interval than what I used to do, which was once a week. So I'm over here at the church doing my thing, but I'm fixing to get back on the road and head north. Well, since I was here last time, they added this additional outbuilding, but it doesn't look occupied. Here's where I'm headed. Traffic on Capitol Boulevard this morning, which is an extension of 401 on my side of town. It was bearable, but that's one of the main arteries in the city, and it's definitely congested during rush hour, and also will be on my way home. My appointment went well. The gas at this sheet says $2.51. Down in Fuquay, it's in the $2.30 range, so it's like 15 cents more a gallon on this side of town, which is pretty common. What we had seen in the past, that gas would be higher here. I am headed back to Fuquay now. It's a little after 9. I had the option of getting on the belt line and taking a loop to get to the south side of town, or going straight through downtown. And this is just a little minor 30-second delay. This is no big deal here, but that's the new bridge. You guys aren't used to seeing the skyline from the north side. But there's a lot of construction on the north side of town, which, you know, hey, I'm glad that it's not on the south side and I'm not having to deal with it. But this north side over here is just really, really busy with new buildings and the bridge repair and the widening and changing of Capitol Boulevard 401 coming into town, and it's been on and off a mess. It's actually less of a mess now than it had been frequently, but typically it's faster to come through town. Obviously it's shorter because it's a straight line, and the belt line can get really backed up during rush hour, which at 9:30 is almost over, but not quite. Wonder if they're going to redo, well, that's really interesting, road markings or lack thereof. Autopilot wouldn't have liked that at all. I didn't like it as a person driver. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to redo that little bridge there too. Well, we better enjoy it while we can. It's 60 degrees out there now. Looks like a group of seniors over here at the tennis courts at Action Park playing a little tennis this morning, getting some fresh air. It's nice not to have to be bundled and it be January. My sweet boy has come out of his rain hibernation. Hey, buddy. Hi. I know everybody hasn't seen you for a few days. They're probably wondering what happened. Don and I have been resting and watching a few YouTubes, and I am now on my way to pick up Johnny. The van says it is officially 65 degrees outside. Like I said, it is gorgeous. A lot of people were out at South Park when I went past enjoying a pretty day. It's fantastic. So soak up some sunshine through the video if you can. And I'm going to make the most of my pretty afternoon drive back into downtown. So the local ABC store, or alcoholic beverage control, they set all the liquor boxes to the side and allow people to come in and get them for free, which is great. And most of them, as you know, are going to have these little cardboard inserts in them. And I've got some stuff I need to stow. So I stopped today and picked up 5 nice boxes. Yeah, the girl that spends all her time, well, a lot of her time collecting glassware. Yeah, need ways to properly store the glassware. Don's out on his run, and I am expecting to drive past him here in a minute. There's Donnie. The flowering quince has opened up today. It's very pretty. Hi. Hello. He goes, "You're home. I'm coming to see you." And the daffodils are blooming. With the gorgeous weather, my flowering quince has started to bloom. It's really pretty. I'll be glad to enjoy it for a few days before those 20-degree temps come and kill the flowers. Hi. Hello. 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 So when I was up at the chiropractor's office today, I signed a couple of forms. You know, I had to sign the HIPAA thing. And I dated it 1/15/20, 1/15/20. And the nice lady up at the counter, she said, "Oh, no, all year this year, don't sign anything with just a 2-digit year. You've got to put all 4 digits. And I looked at her like, well, why would I want to do that? Because it's 2020. So if you only sign 20, and then someone else with the same pen comes behind you and puts 21 or 25 or 29, they can change the intended date on you. Now, maybe, you know, some things are more important than others, but you certainly don't want to leave yourself open to somebody changing the date to not what you intended. So I went back and I changed it to 2020 in all the places I had put 20, and I shared with Dawn, and I thought I'd share with you because, you know, hey, I didn't know it was a thing. And after she explained to me why it was a good idea to put off 4 years, it made sense to me, so I thought I'd share it with you. So I'm in the attic stairwell. I don't usually film in the attic, especially not in the stairwell. Matter of fact, I don't think in all 900 and what is today, 35, 45. I don't think I've ever filmed in the attic, with good reason. But at any point, I wanted to share a confession with you guys today. Yeah, a confession. You know, I don't think it's a secret that Dawn and I are big Amazon Prime members, and that we order quite a good bit of stuff from Amazon and have it delivered to the house. I'm not saying we're proud of it. I'm not saying that we're ashamed of it. We're not either. It's just convenient for us, and over the years as we merged households starting in 2013, I mean, that's how long we've been Prime members. You know, it is something that we make use of. I think like most people, we're going to go to the place and buy where we find the best value, the best product, and in this case, I guess the allure of free shipping. Okay, so we use Amazon a lot. It would be an odd week if we didn't have at least one thing come from Amazon. But Amazon has a couple of special programs. They've got Amazon Prime Pantry, where you get to fill a box and they'll ship it for free, and they have some good grocery pantry prices. We tried that once, but we didn't end up really like doing that. But what we do is we have Amazon Subscribe and Save. And I was talking to Michelle yesterday, and her family is an Amazon Subscribe and Save customer too. And what that means is if you will sign up to get an item on a regularly scheduled interval, that they will give you a little bit of a discount. And usually it's at least 50 cents. Sometimes it's 75 cents or $1 or even $1.50. So there are some items that we have put on our Subscribe and Save. And, you know, it works really good. Our day is around the 1st of the month. The big, huge box will show up. The cats get to play in it. It works well, right? Pretty well. Well, it's not all good. So let's talk about the confession. So there's the confession. Somehow we have ended up with extra toilet tissue, facial tissues, and I wouldn't say extra, but we've got paper towels on hand too. Considering we use about 3 a year, that's a pretty good supply. 3 rolls a year, that's a pretty good supply. So we've got 1, 2, 3 facial tissue boxes. And we've got 1, 2, 3 Cottonelle toilet tissue boxes, plus 18 rolls here and 18 rolls here. So there's like 36 rolls. There's 2 big 18 packs in each one of those big boxes. So, you know, we're kind of set for a while. I don't know how it happened, but we're kind of set. Now, that's not so bad because those items are all clean, dry, will be ready to use when we're ready to use them, right? They're not a perishable item, so it's no big deal. And sometimes I donate tissues to the school because teachers never seem to have tissues in the wintertime, and they could really use some tissues for the classroom. But what if it's not, you know, something that's a household good? What if it is a perishable item or something that at least does have a shelf life? See, I may have a few too many jars of poultry seasoning. These organic spices are a good deal on Amazon, on Subscribe and Save. But now the black pepper is a little more likely to be used up, but there's extra black pepper too. And there might even be some extra mustard. So yeah, we got a few extra spices floating around. And possibly some garbage bags for our Simple Human garbage can in the kitchen, which we love, by the way, but it requires these pricey special bags, and we've got a good supply on hand. So how did that happen to me and Dawn, you ask? Well, months fly by. I mean, you know, time flies, right? You have got to go in there once a month before the ship date, not before the arrival date, but before the ship date, the last day to cancel or skip. And you've got to review it once a month. I still like Subscribe and Save. We're still a member. We're still getting certain items, not toilet tissue for a while, but you've got to watch it. So what Dawn and I have done is we've made a pact that when it comes each month, we like immediately that day need to go in and figure out whether or not we need to skip an item or remove an item from our Subscribe and Save. Because, oh, by the way, they have this extra incentive. I think you've got to have over 6 items. Instead of getting 5 or 10% off the items, you get 15% off. So there's motivation there not to let your number of items coming in the box fall down past a certain number. But the other thing that works really too, because all of us have those Amazon devices in our house, is just to set a reminder for a couple days before what is the typical last day to skip or cancel date. And you can see that on your Amazon Subscribe and Save screen. And to just go in there and review it. Now, I wish they had a pause option. In other words, like, I'm going to want toilet tissue in the future. I'm probably going to want this exact toilet tissue. You're probably going to offer this exact toilet tissue, but I don't want to skip it till next month because I might forget to go in there and manage my list. I want to pause it until I unpause it. So when I tell Johnny to run up to the attic and get some toilet taper for downstairs, and he says, oh, Mom, this is the last one. Or, you know, there's only one more left, Mom, or Mr. Don. Then, you know, we could turn it back on. But they don't offer that. So I've been a little hesitant to actually remove them, cancel them from the list. We've more skipped. But again, that's to the next month. So you've really got to, if you're going to sign up for it, which I still think is a good idea, you've got to come in once a month before your last day to skip or cancel, and you've got to review the list with your family members and decide how you need to process things. And as long as Dawn and I stay on top of that, one or the other of us goes in there to the list and manages it, we're good. And you know, sometimes I think it's like, yeah, I think we need more toilet tissue, but didn't maybe actually walk up the steps. But we got a better handle on it now. We got a better handle on it. That, and I think I have permanently removed all the spices because that just wasn't working out for me.